All right, what is up? What is up, everyone? I am back. Did you guys miss me? I haven't done a live stream in a while, it seems. Well, besides Coaster Cafe, I mean, that's once a week, so hasn't been that long, but it's been about a week since one of these sporadic live streams. Good to see you guys here. I see we got some people chatting it up in here. That's always awesome. I always appreciate that. I love that everybody gets together before the show and they just have a normal chat about coasters or whatever. That's awesome. So I just wanted to say that because I never really pointed that out. But all you guys waiting in the chat room, just patiently waiting and having a conversation, that's awesome to see. So yeah, keep it up. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Very nice profile picture. Yeah. Saw the dude from SpongeBob, one of the meat meeps or whatever. I don't know what you call them. uh, nice bagel slurp. Yeah. Bagel slurp. Yeah. So I've got a story about that. Um, the title of this live stream and that nice little thumbnail that you saw, that wasn't random. I mean, there's a story behind that. Um, and I want to tell you guys that story. That's actually one of the inspirations for me doing this live stream today. Besides just, it's been a while since I've done one anyway, so I figured why not do a live stream. But yeah, I have a little story I can tell you guys. I'll wait till like at least a few more people or so get in here so that way, you know, I don't keep having like a million people ask me to retell the story. So I'll just we'll hold off and just hang out for a couple minutes here and we'll wait for some more people to get in live stream. And then I'll tell my story. So, what up? So, how did you guys like it seems like everybody loved the Airtime Thrills collaboration that I did. Um which I figured you guys would really enjoy that cuz who doesn't like Airtime Thrills? I mean, he's one of the best coaster channels out there. Like his channel is amazing. So, yeah, I reached out to him actually a few months back. Um and I suggested that maybe we could do the 8th episode of Whatever Happened To, because I had been wanting to do another episode of that because it had been quite a while. The last one before that was October. So I reached out to him and he said, okay, well, what could we do? And I suggested that. And so we decided to do the B&M sit down model. That's one that was kind of in the back of my head for a while, but I wasn't sure if I could do that because I didn't know if I would have enough to really chew on with that information. But it turns out I was able to make a pretty good video about it, I think. Um, yeah, and we were gonna wait until he went to Busch Gardens Tampa to ride Iron Gwazi, and he was gonna get some really, some awesome footage of Kumba and stuff. Um, and he was like, I'll be going there in like March or whatever. Well, obviously, all this stuff happened. I never wrote the script or anything, so I finally just wrote the script a couple weeks ago and we got that going. And I just used, the amazing footage that's available from, our wonderful YouTube community. So we got that video done. I think it went pretty well. I know you guys really like the Whatever Happened To series. I love doing those videos. Those Whatever Happened To series, those are some of my favorite videos that I've done personally. So F in the chat for Hard Rock Park. Yeah. Oh yeah. How could I forget about that? We need to talk about that. Yeah, Tony Clark posted an image last night. I saw it very late last night. He posted an image, a teaser. He made it very clear that it's a teaser. He also told people in the comments to not get their expectations up too high because of course everybody was predicting what kind of new coaster it would be. according to him, it's not. He said it's definitely not a new coaster. It's not a new ride. Um, but if you look at that envelope, um, hey, what's up, Jay? Yeah, but if you look at that envelope where the paper is sticking out, you can like see it looks like the front. Somebody said that looks like Millennium Force's car. They're like, is it getting a new train or are you guys refurbishing it or something like that? And I can't remember exactly what was said, but Tony actually responded to that. And he said, no, it's not quite that. Um, so maybe it has something to do with Millennium Force or at least one of the Intamins or something. But on the paper, you can see there's like the front of Millennium Force's train, and then you can also see a wheel assembly. Like you can see the side friction wheel, and then the upper and lower wheels above and below the rails. The up stop and whatnot. So it's really interesting. Actually, I'm gonna pull that up again. I'm gonna take a look at that because let me take a fresh look at it, and I can try to analyze it again, maybe. Um, yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. Yeah, he posted that image on Twitter. We're talking about Tony Clark. He made a cryptic post on Twitter last night. He posted a teaser. Tony Clark from Cedar Point posted a teaser. And it's an envelope. It says hashtag what's in the envelope. Hashtag this is a teaser. Hashtag more to come. Hashtag no to an Aquatrax. So it's not that Aquatrax. But yeah, looking at this picture here, yeah, it could be Maverick. It could be Maverick. Could be something to do with that. But he said he captioned the photo. Slight delay, but you've been nice. So dot dot dot. I have something to share with you. Dot dot dot. Um, yeah, it's really. I mean, you can't really see a lot from the picture. Obviously, obviously it's very minimal. It's a teaser. Um, so we're not really going to be able to pick apart exactly what's happening based on what we see. But you can definitely see, the front of a coaster train, whether it's Maverick or Millennium Force. Um, it could be either or. I feel like it looks more like Millennium Force's train, but somebody said, I'm guessing something to do with Millennium Force trains and nothing to do with a new ride. And Tony Clark replied to that. He said, kind of, with a question mark. So it appears that they're doing something with one of the existing rides, probably Millennium Force, maybe Maverick. Um, that's what it looks like to me. So Millennium Flyers for Blue Streak. No, what Blue Streak needs is those old trains back, the old PTC trains with the buzz bars. They need those buzz bars back because Blue Streak is a really fun ride, but it's such a shame that they took away those old trains and they gave us the new ones with individual ratcheting lap bars and the seat divider and the headrests. It'd be so much better if they had those old trains on there. So he responded to a map thing 8 minutes ago. All right, let's check that out. Let's check that out. Is that on Twitter, Coaster Hour? Did he respond on Twitter? Is it in the comments on that post? Somebody also said, "Could this be a B&M flyer?" And Tony said, no." So And he also said he says here, and it's not even a new coaster in response to somebody. So, okay, where's that thing from 8 minutes ago? The map. Yes, in the comments. It's under the Millie Train comments. Okay, yeah, I'm way below that. So let's go back up there. Huh. Somebody said parking garage question mark and Tony responded dot 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 and a monorail in Valraven's tunnel with a laughing emoji. That's pretty funny. Adam Roland at the very top. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see any kind of map thing here, so maybe that'll help me out. Yeah, I don't even see Adam Roland at the top here. Oh, here we go. Um, oh, definitely kind of looks like Millennium Force trains. Are you going to refurb them to their opening day glory? Tony Clark says no. And then Adam Roland posted a picture. Okay, he posted a picture of the map. Oh, okay. So this is in the map, the arrow is going from what is shown in the envelope to the spot on the map. And that spot on the map is is that supposed to be Iron Dragon? Yeah, that's Iron Dragon. Um, okay. So something to do with Iron Dragon? Yeah, because Tony Clark responded like with the fire emoji. So that guy's onto something. Yeah, that guy has a good eye. He spotted the Iron Dragon supports in there. And I was actually trying to figure out what that was too, because I saw those little things there. They looked like a little bracket on the teaser. And I'm like, what is that? Because I'm like, is that a piece of track or like I couldn't figure out what it was. So that guy is onto something. Yeah. Well, in any case, it appears to be something something to do with an existing attraction or is it existing attractions. I don't think it's a new ride. I do think Cedar Point might still get a new coaster next year, possibly. I'm not completely sold on that yet, but I do still think there's a good chance Cedar Point will get a coaster next year. But maybe this is not for that, you know. All right, see ya. Do I think if someone said it, he would say yes? He would not say yes. He would probably, he would just do one of his little things where he teases you with like a GIF or an emoji or something like that. But he's not going to say if somebody has it. Somebody actually commented in the comments. I know exactly what it is, but I'm not going to say it. Like, okay, how does this person know? Like, that's what you think of. Like, how does this person actually know? Whether they do or not, though, he's not going to say. But Tony responded with like an "Oh, really?" like a gif of Cardi B. She's like, "Oh, really?" But yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, there's a lot to decipher there, but at the same time, there's not a lot. Like it's just a very small portion, obviously. And I mean, he's doing it to get everybody riled up. And it's working. It's working. Yeah, exactly. Somebody always says that they know something. They have inside information. But it's so convenient how those people that always have that inside information that are so willing to say that, they're never willing to give that information up. Isn't that funny how that works? Oh, look at me. I know everything, but I'm not going to tell you because I can't say it, but I know what's going on. It's like that's kind of convenient. Yeah. But that's kind of why, like, you know, I don't do this to try to be like rude or anything like that. I don't know if it ever comes across as that or not. It might to some people, but in the comments of my videos, um, you know, I have people that say, "Oh, this person from the park told me this is happening. This ride is coming out next year." And I always say, "Is there any kind of source to back that up? Or where did you hear that from?" Um, because you just have to question everything. And even when I tell somebody something, I don't blame you for saying, where did you hear that info from? And usually I'll tell you because usually I just hear the info from other people and I'm passing it along. And I don't advertise it as fact. I'll usually say, I've heard this or this or this, and you guys might say, okay, where did you hear that info from? And I'll tell you, like, I can't remember, I just heard it on an online forum, yada yada yada. But always be conscious about where you're hearing the information from. It's everybody knows something, but they're not going to tell you what it is, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it could be a desperation move sometimes. I think sometimes they actually do maybe know or think they know some inside information. But there are times though that people are just saying it for sure. but bunch of people claim Six Flags Magic Mountain staff told them they were getting a launch family Vekoma for 2019. They were definitely wrong. They didn't even get a coaster for 2019. They kind of did, but obviously I'm sort of joking about that, sort of not joking, but yeah, all right. So, do you guys want to hear the bagel story? It looks like I might have already hit my peak amount of people, and a few of them have dropped off. So, I should probably tell you guys the story that you all want to hear so bad. Who's ready to hear it? Yeah, I remember that Mac multi launch went to Carowinds. It's because somebody said it from the company, but they meant or they meant Carolinas. All right. I've not done anything with bagels. I mean, I ate a bagel earlier. But anyway, so what happened? Well, about 2 or 3 nights ago, I had a dream, okay? And it involved roller coasters. So I had a roller coaster dream. Um so this is what happened. In my dream, I went to ride Candemonium at Hershey Park. So I rode Candemonium, but when I rode it, I mean, when I rode the coaster, it was Candemonium that I was riding. But in my dream, it appeared as like a No Limits rendering. So even though I was riding Candemonium in my dream, it was kind of like an obvious No Limits 2 rendering. It wasn't even like a really, really, really well detailed rendering. It was just like the Candemonium layout going through like a flat landscape, just a flat grassy landscape in No Limits 2. So picture that. So I get on Candemonium, I ride it, and like I said, it was Candemonium, but it looked like a No Limits 2 or a No Limits rendering, whatever. Um, I got off the ride, and this is weird too. When I got off Candemonium, I remember like looking at the ride, like from an off-ride point of view, like from the exit ramp or whatever, and I saw a wooden coaster there. So that's kind of a weird thing, but that's not the point of the story. So after I get off, Candemonium, I ride it. I go down the exit ramp. I pull my camera out of my pocket to take some pictures, okay? Because, I take my camera to parks. I need to get some pictures and video or whatever. So I pull my camera out of my pocket. My camera was a bagel. So I pull this everything bagel out of my pocket and it was in the bag because the bagels that I buy from the store, that actual bag was in the dream. So I had it in this bag. So I pull my camera out of my pocket. I'm holding it like this, taking pictures. I have like my fingers in between the flaps and I'm like flapping the front up and down, getting pictures. And and then I took a few pictures and then it wasn't working. So I was getting frustrated because I'm like, I'm trying to take pictures with it and I'm like, why isn't it working? So I'm like looking around, like trying to get the button. I'm like, am I hitting the button? And that my freaking camera was a bagel. So that was the dream. That's my story for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. A little journey into my interesting mind. I have some interesting dreams about coasters. Um, that's probably the best one, honestly. That's probably the best one. So, yep, I was trying to take pictures with my bagel. So it was an everything bagel, by the way. And I did eat the last one that we had for breakfast this morning. That was the one you saw in that thumbnail picture. So let's see. Coaster Hour says I had a weird dream where I went to ride the backyard coasters at Haunted Hoochie, only to find that the place had become a kid-friendly pumpkin patch, and the coaster somehow had higher capacity. Oh no! Oh no! That's awful. What did I consume before going to sleep? I don't know. I probably ate a bunch of crappy food and coffee. Probably that's probably what I had. Let's see. Yeah, Meg, that whole thing's a rumor. That's not confirmed in any way. That's all a rumor. And I haven't heard anything about it since the one time I saw something about it. So I think my coffee addiction is making me hallucinate in my dreams. I don't know. Diamondback closing. No. One of my favorites. Yeah, I heard that. I saw that in the CoasterBot video. I'm assuming that's where you saw it too, maybe. Uh, yeah, Valkyria was originally supposed to have the older strengths. Yes. Valkyria looks like a pretty fun dive coaster, honestly. I've only been on one dive coaster, and granted, that was Valraven. And I know I'm not a fan of Valraven. I always kind of talk crap about it. Um, it's not a bad ride. It's so mediocre in my opinion. But even though the one dive coaster I've been on, I'm not a fan of. I feel like most of them are a lot better, and I feel like Valkyria looks like a fun dive coaster. So, oh no, that's an awful dream to have before you go to Cedar Point. Yeah, I saw that. Frontier City opens June 5th. Absolutely. Yep, it does. All right, well, look up Warner Brothers Movie World on rcdb.com or just on Google or whatever. They have some awesome rides there. So, oh no. You have dreams about Steve, you find out it's not Steve, and you wake up and you're triggered. That's awful. Had a dream where I went to the small amusement park with an S&S family invert and a Thomas theme kiddie coaster. Nice. That's not too bad. See, Chaos says I like Sheikra so much better than Valraven. Yeah, it looks a lot better, honestly, or a little better. Valkyria is really good. Okay, looks like it has a pretty good layout. So, You had a dream that West Coast Racers opened in 2019. Touche. You should give Oblivion a try if you can. If I ever get to the UK and go to Alton Towers, I absolutely will. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but yeah. You had a dream going to Lagoon, riding Cannibal, wanted to ride Wicked too, but it was closed. That stinks. What's the tallest a roller coaster will ever be built, in your opinion? I think whenever we do get to the 500-foot mark, that's kind of going to cap it off. I feel like that's probably like the ultimate, like, I know that's probably what people thought about like 200 feet and 300 feet and stuff like that too. But I mean, when you're talking about like the strata coasters are already so ridiculous in height and with their technology that they have to make them so short to be able to afford these rides, these big parks. I think when you're talking about a 500-foot some tall coaster, you're pushing the limits, I think. So I think we will see a 500-foot coaster eventually, but it's going to be a while. Um, yeah, yeah, Coaster Hour brought something up here. I did hear about this, and thanks for reminding me, actually. He said, did you hear about the rumor that Pony Express may be getting removed from Knott's? Yeah, so Knott's posted a teaser as well, Knott's Berry Farm, about Pony Express, and it's very cryptic. It suggests that maybe I saw some kind of rumor where maybe it'll be like a retheme or something. Um, but it could also very well be a ride removal. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that much if it's a ride removal. We know how Cedar Fair has been. And people in the comments were saying that it's been unreliable, yada yada yada. So I don't know how true all that is exactly. But but yeah, it's pretty interesting. We got some interesting things going on within Cedar Fair right now. Gerstlauer, good company. That's awful. You had a dream where your legs got amputated on the head chopper hill on Skyrush. You didn't fall off and you enjoyed the rest of the ride to the fullest. Wow. Been on 2,000 coasters. Nice. And I definitely respect that opinion. You know, we all have different opinions what the best coaster is. Personally, Steel Vengeance is my favorite by far. To me, I've been on 96 coasters. But to me, nothing even comes close to Steel Vengeance. So there's one ride that got kind of close, but not really. So I really, really like Steel Vengeance. I do believe, in my opinion, you should believe the hype about Steel Vengeance if you haven't ridden it. I know everybody and their mom says it's their favorite, but for me, that's a good reason. There's a good reason for it. But you know, at the same time, if it's your 12th favorite coaster or your 15th favorite, that's your opinion. That's fine. So my hundredth coaster was supposed to be El Toro. That's not happening now. So I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't care that much about milestones. So if it turns out to be something awesome, great. If not, whatever, you know. So yeah, Knott's posted this update yesterday. Or wait. No, 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 no. Wait. Where's it at? Where's it at? Sorry, I was looking at something else. Where did Knott's post this at? I know I put it on here, so I'm going to go back to that and read it to you if anybody hasn't heard it yet. All right. So Knott's Berry Farm yesterday, they posted this cryptic image. It has like the Pony Express sign behind the text, but the text here, the caption says, I tried to send a letter to my mousing to my mousing. I tried to send a letter to my ma using the Pony Express, but it looks like all the brave riders have fallen off into the sunset. From one horse lover to another, I raise my hand and salute, but they don't deliver my letter. Guess I'll have to find the Calico Post Office. Sad Eye Joe. So that is the cryptic message there. There's definitely something going on with that ride, whether it's a retheme or a removal. I mean, realistically, it's one of those two things, probably. It's either a removal or a retheme or something, but yeah. The pro was it was infinite airtime, but the con was it went forever. Literally, it went forever. Yeah, that'd be crazy. What Cedar Point coaster do I think will go next? Go watch my video I did back in February of 2019. It's actually one of my most popular videos. It was my most viewed for a really long time until recently, but yeah, I did a video about that in February 2019. I pretty much stand by a lot of that still. Um, I do think there's a bigger chance now of Gemini being removed ever since I've made that video. But I still pretty much stand by what I said in that video, I think. So, but ultimately, I'm still really unsure about it too, though. It's so hard for me to predict that. Like, I always flip flop between what I think it's going to be, actually. So, I have not been on a drop track, no. Canada's Wonderland B&M invert, they probably won't get one because they have flight deck. If they decide to keep flight deck for a long time, hopefully they refurbish it with some of those new trains with Vestas trains. So that'd be nice. Yeah, Gemini did almost get removed in 2003. Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, that's funny. I was talking about people who claim that they know things, but they don't want to give anything away earlier in the show. Um, in a video I did, I think it was my Cedar Fair coaster removal video. Um, I guessed that Gemini may be the next to go. I think that's what I said in that video. Like I said, I'm always flip flopping with that. But some g- somebody commented and said, oh, that's not happening. This I know this person, and they said this. They said it isn't happening. Um, or they said that that actually wasn't going to happen in 2003, that they actually were not going to remove Gemini. And I said, I just said politely, I said, is there any kind of source or anything to back that up? I'm just wondering because, what yada yada, whatever. I just asked politely if he had a source, basically. And he basically just came back like, no, I don't need a source. This is what I heard, blah, 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 like all cocky about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, sure. Like, it's going back to those people that they know all this inside information, but they're not going to say where they got it from, which I do understand that in some cases. And they're also not going to say, exactly what it is or whatever, but yeah, it's interesting. Riding the bat, been room, let's see, issues with storing gloves, coats, bin room due to loose articles causing issues on your front. Okay, Crazy Coaster says, but Gemini is going nowhere. Tony Clark said so. With all due respect, Tony Clark can say a lot of things. Um, they can say whatever and ultimately change their minds, or they can just flat out say things because they haven't confirmed anything yet. You never know, honestly. Like they can say whatever. Um, and maybe Gemini will be around for a very long time. I would certainly like that to be the case because I love Gemini. I think it probably does have a few more years left in it, at least a couple more years anyway. But even if they're not planning currently on removing it in like a year or two, they could very quickly change their mind in like 2 years and be like, oh, this has to go. I mean, look at Volcano, look at Vortex. Those were last minute decisions, So Pony Express is probably a last minute decision. Maybe, I'm not saying it is, but it could be. Next coaster to go at Kings Island, definitely in Vertigo. Definitely in Vertigo. You got your inside information from Winter Chill Out. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah. Thanks for telling me that. Like I said, though, there is always the chance that they can go back on those things. Um, I do hope it's around for a long time. I really do, for at least another like 10 years or so. Coaster Hour says it gets a little annoying when people say someone told them otherwise. People kept telling me last year that they were told that Great Adventure would get a premier launched racing coaster. Exactly. Like, it's like everybody wants to know first. Everybody wants to know everything. And, like, ultimately, nobody actually knows exactly what's going on until the park confirms something, or in some cases, we'll get like really, really detailed leaks that basically show us everything. But until that, nobody knows what's going on, honestly. It's all speculation. And that's why I always try to make that very clear in my videos, when I'm speculating on something. This is pure speculation. Take it with a grain of salt, blah, blah, blah. You have to make that disclaimer because people will try to run with it and say, "Oh, Coaster Daddy said this. This is what's happening." No, that's that's not how it is. I try to make that very clear. So I had a dream last night where I was at Six Flags Over Texas. I wanted to ride Shockwave, had my friend guide me, and apparently is hard to find. Apparently, it is that hard to find, and it was closed, so we went to New Texas Giant. Okay, well, not a bad trade off, I guess. Not a bad trade off. I'd certainly be disappointed if I didn't get to try Shockwave at least once, though. So CT Coasters says me and my friend are planning a trip of Six Flags America, BGW, Six Flags Great Adventure, and King's Dominion. We call it the Sad Virgin trip. All right, nice. Nice. I hope you guys can do that soon. What should be the next coaster at Cedar Point? A GCI Woody. In my opinion, that should be the next coaster there. I think they might get a B&M Flyer before that, but I do want a good modern Woody at Cedar Point for sure. Okay, coaster lover. Thank you. Thank you. Went to New Texas Giant and woke up. Oh man, didn't even get to ride it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You say that you're making your best guess. Apparently that means to some people, they take it as gospel, which you, it's YouTube. I mean, we should just be used to it because it's always going to be the case, but it's still annoying, when you make things so clear and people are like, "Oh, that's not happening." Yeah, dreams can be very weird for sure. Yeah, unlike Mean Streak. Mean Streak was awful. Awful, boring, painful. Mm. I think the last time I rode Mean Streak um was probably, I think it was like 2010. It was either 2007 or 2010 the last time I rode Mean Streak. And because it was so long ago, I honestly do wish I could go back and ride it just one more time just to really feel how it was because it's been so long. But, I was so young still the last time I rode it. And I remember just coming off that thing in so much pain. I was like, I'm never going to ride that again. I gave it several chances. I rode it at least 5 times probably when I was younger. Not fun, not fun. Coaster Hour says, I don't see Cedar Point getting a GCI Woody. The general public don't feel be too excited for, especially compared to a record breaking flyer or even a unique ride like an Axis. Yeah, I agree. No, I don't think Cedar Point's going to get an Axis for the record. I don't think that's going to happen. I certainly wouldn't be against it, but that's not going to happen in my opinion. I do think a B&M Flyer will probably be Cedar Point's next coaster. I think that Cedar Point is probably going to get a B&M Flyer next. But certainly I would love for them to get a GCI Woody. I think eventually they will get some kind of wooden coaster, but we'll probably get the flyer first. So, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about that, obviously. It's probably going to be a record breaker. So, hopefully it'll be good. I haven't been on a B&M flyer yet. So, rode Mean Streak the last day and also rode it during Balagi conference. Nice. Yeah, the thing about Cedar Point, getting a flyer to test that out for Cedar Fair. Cedar Point is not the park that they use for, to test out new models at their parks. That's like Knott's Berry Farm or um I mean in 2018 they did get, one of the first RMCs in the chain. They got 3 RMCs that year. But it was a very proven model, across the industry. But yeah, typically like Knott's Berry Farm will be like the prototype park for Cedar Fair, like where they're testing grounds, so to speak. Yeah, Jared, to be honest with you, I can see why he doesn't upload those kinds of videos anymore. I mean, I'm sure he liked doing those back in the day, and I know a lot of people are clamoring for those to come back. But honestly, it's just so many other channels do similar types of things. To me, it's never really been that interesting. I've seen a few of those videos, and personally, I don't think they're that interesting or unique. And I can see why he kind of shied away from that because, I mean, he has really good content, but the battle videos are just kind of like really run of the mill and generic, and they're kind of cookie cutter, to be honest. And I'm not criticizing anybody who does them because I know a lot of people enjoy those videos, and I'm sure people like making those videos and stuff, and that's great. They're fun videos. Um, but I can see why he doesn't want to do that kind of stuff anymore. I've never done any kind of thing like that because I don't like those kinds of things where it's like, oh, let's pit this against this and come up with this conclusive answer. I've never been a fan of that myself. So, and I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for him, obviously. But the worst B&M hyper. What do I think is the worst B&M hyper? Um, I don't know. I've only been on 2 B&M hypers. I was really disappointed by Intimidator, but I don't know if it'd be the worst. I feel like the worst might be if we're talking about the actual, like, not just the hyper model, but just, ones that are between 2 and 300 feet. Um, Probably either, man, that's so hard to say. That's so hard to say. Maybe Intimidator. Maybe it is Intimidator. I don't know. I was so disappointed by Intimidator, honestly. See, the one good thing that could come out of King's Dominion adding that rumored SS40 free spin would be the possibility of seeing more unique SNS coasters at Cedar Fair parks. Yeah, good point, Coaster Hour. Good point. That could very well be the case. Maybe Cedar Fair, especially with the current situation and how things are, they're gonna try to save some money. Maybe they'll try to bring these really good, unique coasters from SNS into some of their parks. And also, it could introduce the possibility of maybe even some of the more neglected parks getting a decent ride for fairly cheap. Maybe, that'd be nice. Yeah, Intimidator did have a lot of trims for sure. Mr. Roller Coaster says Silver Star looks like the worst B&M Hyper. I'd have to disagree. And I know Taylor just released that video yesterday, and I've heard a lot of people say that Silver Star isn't very good, but I've also heard a few people say that it's actually a very strong ride. So I don't know. Obviously, I'd have to ride it for myself to judge it, but to me, it looks awesome. So I don't know. Like I said, I haven't actually ridden it, so who knows? Jared says, I feel like the worst hyper is Behemoth because they're just big airtime hills with trim brakes on almost every hill and just one turn to more hills. Yeah. And I hear a lot of people rave about Behemoth and it looks awesome in my opinion. But when I look at it, it's basically, I mean, all the B&M hypers are pretty similar, but like B&M and Intimidator especially look really similar in layout. So besides Intimidator having a more L-shaped layout where Behemoth is more just out and back, one direction to another. Yeah, Coaster Key, you're not the only one. You're definitely not the only one. I agree. Palos Chariot, yeah, it could be. I don't know. But I hear so many good things about it, so it's kind of hard to say. And it's so like when it comes to B&M hypers, they're all so similar that when you start talking about the differences, there's really I feel like there's not that big of a difference, even between some of the weaker ones and like the stronger ones. Even though some may be a lot better in the grand scheme of things, they're not that much different. So it's kind of hard to try to decipher all these rides. That's how I feel about it anyway. Yeah, and I thought about saying Raging Bull because I hear bad things about it, but I think Raging Bull looks awesome. And I've heard some people say otherwise, that it actually is a good ride. So yeah, I rode Intimidator in the middle, in the front, in the back, um, on inside seats, on the outside staggered seats. I rode it like at least 7 times at least, and, a lot of my rides were really underwhelming. A couple of them were just kinda a couple were stronger, but, like, even a couple of the stronger rides I had, they didn't blow me away, so it was still pretty underwhelming to say, you know, to sum it up. Yeah, Steel Eel looks awesome. Yeah, that's what I like about Raging Bull. It has such a unique layout. That's what I love about it. Like people criticize it because, oh, it's a twister layout. It's so much different. I feel like I would enjoy it because of that. It has such a unique layout. And I know it doesn't focus on airtime, but guess what? Guess what? Not every coaster needs airtime to be good. I said it. Like a good ride is a good ride. The Beast doesn't have any airtime. I love the Beast. I do. A lot of people don't agree with that. Oh well, I love the Beast. Like, oh man, the Beast at night is on a whole nother level. I mean, all of the hype that you hear about the Beast night ride, none of that can prepare you for what you actually experience the first time you ride that at night. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Like a Beast Night Ride is so intense, so out of control. Yeah, it one of the best coaster rides out there for sure. Yeah, I saw that chaos. I saw that little saying they have there. That's pretty funny. I like that. Yeah, it is insane, Millennium Force, man. Beast Night Ride is insane. You said it. Coaster Hour, absolutely yes. I do recommend riding Beast at night for your first ride. Um, yeah, definitely. I would do that. Last year when I went to Kings Island in August, full disclaimer, I had been to Kings Island once when I was very, very young in 2007. I was there for a few hours. So back way back in 2007, I did get one ride on the Beast. It was a day ride, and I didn't really remember much from that. So when I went last year in 2019, it was basically like going to Kings Island for the first time and riding Beast for the first time again. So I left work on a Friday. I got off work at 4 o'clock. I drove 3.5 hours to Kings Island. I got into Kings Island. I got into the park at like 9:30. The park closed at 10. And this was actually on National Roller Coaster Day, by the way. I didn't plan it like that, but it just happened to fall on National Roller Coaster Day, which was also the day after Orion was announced. Um, but yeah, I drove from work to Kings Island. I got into Kings Island at like 9:30 at night just so I could ride the Beast at night. Holy crap. Holy crap. Like, I'm so glad I did that. I went to the park just to get that night ride that one night. And I went to the park the whole next day too. But wow, that Beast night ride is incredible. Like everything you hear about it, it definitely lived up to the hype and more for me. So I did not get to ride Son of Beast. I did get to see it because when I was there in 2007, it was standing there, and I would have liked to have ridden it, but it was one of the periods where they had it closed due to the accidents. And of course, it did open back up sometime after that. But when I saw it standing there, they had already taken the loop out, so I did not see it with the loop, and I didn't get to ride it, which is unfortunate in a way. So I would have liked to have tried it just to say I did it. But yeah, I did see the Beast or the Son of Beast in person, but never rode it. Do I think the Beast will get retracked or RMC'd? It is not going to get RMC'd. No way. The Beast is not going to get RMC'd. Will it get retracked? I mean, they're always doing retracking on rides. If you're talking about like a full retracking and reprofiling, maybe at some point in the future, maybe if GCI came in and did their work and they were able to take away some of those trims, that'd be awesome for sure. Maybe put some Millennium Flyers on it. Imagine that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, Beast is not going anywhere. And I don't want it to be RMC'd. Even though it would make an incredible ride, no, do not RMC the Beast. I mean, I know it's not going to happen, but yeah. Oh, you've been to Atlanta twice, haven't been to Six Flags Over Georgia, huh? Yeah, I think Six Flags Over Georgia looks like a really nice Six Flags park. I've heard some other differing opinions, but I think it looks like a really nice park myself. What do I think is the worst RMC? Maybe Joker, maybe. Okay, the awesome Minecraft boy. I saw that X Scream Thrills video, and he made it very clear in that video that he does not actually want the Beast to be RMC'd. And he just kind of put that in there as like a fun thing. He made that very clear. Um, and he did say if it was RMC'd, it would make an incredible ride, which is true. If it was RMC'd, it would make an incredible ride. But he also made it clear that he personally likes the beast and he wants it to stay as is, which I definitely agree with. So I did not watch the Disney and SeaWorld stuff this morning. No. Crazy Coaster was 3 when the Son of Beast closed down forever. Yeah, so you definitely didn't get to ride it. Yeah, Six Flags Over Georgia does look like a really pretty park, a pretty Six Flags park. Millennium Force Man. Any suggestions on a third park for that trip? Greg Thorpe, Indiana Beach. Indiana Beach has lots of wood coasters. It's right around that area. It'd be perfect. If you can, you could throw Kentucky Kingdom in there too, because they have Thunder Run and um, Thunder Run and what's it called? The new one. Crap, I can't. Kentucky Flyer. Kentucky Flyer. Yeah, lots of good wood coasters around this area of the country. So okay, Coaster Hour thinks Goliath is worth RMC. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it would be very expensive to do all that work with that terrain. Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Indiana Beach has the world's best drop tower. Really? Okay. I'm kind of iffy on drop towers. So oh, speaking of drop towers, this that reminds me of a new video that I have coming out. I forgot I scheduled a video to be uploaded today at 2 o'clock. So be on the lookout for a new video for me at 2 o'clock. So it's a different kind of video. It's not a typical, it doesn't deal with coasters. So be sure to watch out for that new video. Yeah, no problem, Greg. No problem. Yeah, there are lots of good wooden coasters, lots of good looking wooden coasters at Indiana Beach too. So yeah, Six Flags Great America does have a really good B&M collection. Now, Six Flags Great Adventure has more B&Ms than any other park in the world with 5, but the collection is a lot of mediocre looking ones. So, besides Nitro, which looks awesome. 2 o'clock, what time zone? Eastern. 2 o'clock Eastern. So basically an hour and 45 minutes from now. Right now it's 12:14 Eastern time where I live. Um, so yeah, 2 o'clock Eastern, so an hour 46 minutes from now. Indiana Beach has a drop tower where one of the seats restraint doesn't lock and they let you ride it. I heard about that. That sounds ridiculous. Yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed things about Nitro. I hear it's amazing. I hear it's elite. I hear it's really weak. I hear it's just kind of in between. I hear all kinds of things about it. And that's how it goes with B&M hypers, honestly. Like I said, the differences between them, like it depends on the conditions you ride, and the layouts aren't that different. So it's just kind of, yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, I see voids. He says Six Flags Great America is really well rounded, but they do really need an elite coaster. If RMC Eagle happened, I think it would be elite, maybe. Yeah, I do agree they need an elite coaster. I mean, they have a few really good ones, but it's kind of like Kings Island where they have a few really good coasters, but you could make a really good case for any one of those as being the number one in the park. I do agree they really need that one big, like, standout, unquestionable elite coaster, you know? Coaster Hour, I have not been to a Disney or Universal park. Well, actually, when I was like 3 years old, I went to Disney World. So technically, I've been to Disney World. I don't remember it though. Yeah, that would have been like 97, 98, maybe 99 that I went to Disney World. So, yeah, see, with the B&M Hypers, I've been on Diamondback and Nitro, or not Nitro, Diamondback and Intimidator. And Fury 325 is a hyper model, but yeah, Intimidator was so underwhelming to me, but I love Diamondback. I mean, I can't get enough of Diamondback personally. So, I think I'll like a lot of the B&M Hypers when I get to them. Yeah, I've been on 3 RMCs. I've been on Steel Vengeance, Lightning Rod, and Twisted Timbers. So, ranking Steel Vengeance 1, 2 Lightning Rod, 3 Twisted Timbers. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's buying out Six Flags anytime soon. So, Giga at Magic Mountain, yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath for that, definitely. I don't think that's gonna happen. They could use that for sure, they could use that. Ah, your mom went when Big Thunder was under construction, nice. What do I think Busch Gardens Tampa will get next after Iron Gwazi? Um, as far as coasters, I think maybe they'll get a Giga eventually. I think they're one of the very last parks in the world that could potentially, or at least in America, I should say, that could potentially get a Giga. So I think maybe eventually Busch Gardens Tampa will get a Giga. Um, I hope it's like a B&M or an Intamin Giga, like full circuit with a chain lift. Yeah. Yep. Do I think Vekoma will make a Giga? If they do, it's not going to be for a really long time yet because they haven't even made a Hyper yet. They probably won't make a Giga though. Not anytime soon for sure. Nothing that we could foretell. Yeah, Six Flags Magic Mountain was supposed to get an Intamin prefab, and it sucks that they did not get that. That really sucks. An Intamin Hyper would have been amazing there too. That would have been so good. I, I don't see Six Flags Magic Mountain getting a Giga the way that they've been going. Okay, yeah, Coaster Hour want to go back to more theme parks. Yeah, I would definitely like to try more like full-fledged theme parks. I went to Dollywood, which was amazing. I would really want to go to Silver Dollar City. Um, I wouldn't mind going to Universal at some point. Probably won't be for a while, but at some point I would like to do that. I've been to Holiday World too, which is a theme park, but it has much more of like the classic amusement park feel. It's not like heavy immersive theming. Hey, I hope they do make a Giga. I hope they do make a Giga at Energylandia. That'd be awesome. They would be the park to do that. You've heard that the Jurassic roller coaster will have a Heartline roll over the lake just like Mavericks. That'd be amazing. That'd be awesome. I have not explored any abandoned amusement parks. I've been like on the outside of abandoned parks. I saw Geauga Lake a couple times after it closed, like driving past it. And I also went to where Chippewa Lake is in Ohio, which closed in 1978. Very fascinating park. We've talked about that before on here. They had a coaster standing for a really long time until like 2010, a little wood coaster called Big Dipper. And I did see that several times. So And I've seen some remnants of other closed parks as well that are still out there. Does the Beast Hall at night? It does. It feels like it does at night. I did the voting on that like one time, but I don't really keep up with it. Coaster lover, so it's cool that he does that though. Seems awesome. So you haven't been to Disneyland since 2012. Dying to return. Disneyland to me looks like the best American Disney park. I think Disneyland looks awesome. Yeah, the atmosphere looks incredible there for sure. See where Six Flags New England stores the trains. Nice, nice. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This has been another very successful live stream. If there's any, news, I see some new people in this chat. If any of you guys are new subscribers or old subscribers or whatever, thank you so much for subscribing. I've picked up quite a few new subscribers over the past like week or so. Really appreciate it. Um, Thank you so much for joining the live stream again. You guys made it fun. And the next live stream will likely be on Saturday with Coaster Cafe. So, until next time, you guys have a good one. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you next time. All right.